story and narrative seems so fundamental to us as human beings. I mean, you can't say it's hardwired in us, but we seem to have an endless hunger for story and narrative to help make sense of our lives. I mean, in terms of fiction, it's a very odd concept that we use something fictitious, something made up, something imagined, to help us navigate our way through the real world. But it's not just in literature that story is paramount. If you think about the news, you know, they're referred to as news stories. Advertising will weave little stories in order to, you know, sell you a sort of a lifestyle or an image around the product that they're pushing. Even, you know, when you come home from work and your partner asks you how your day was, you don't give them a bullet point list of what you've done. You tell them the story of your day, and that way it invites sort of, you know, a conversation. You know, the partner might sort of ask for elaboration of something you've said. It invites emotional response. It also helps you process your own day, the things that have arisen. And even charities have come around to the realisation that story is really important in their asks, that the best way to tug at the heartstrings is to tell the story of the people that the charity is looking to help, the less well off, and tell their story, get them in front of the camera in order to get us to donate. But the problem is when story goes beyond these fields and penetrates virtually every aspect of our life, particularly in the online world, because there it is presented as often as actual fact and as actual news, and is done in certain spheres in order to combat data, science and fact. And one of the most obvious realms of this is the anti-vaxxer movement, because what they are doing is they are presenting individual stories of people who have fallen foul of the vaccine, or people who have fallen foul of policing under pandemic restrictions, you know, whatever it might be. And they are appealing on an emotional level in order to get around the scientific data about, you know, the safety of vaccinations. And the problem with online is, even if it's accompanied with images which suppose, you know, like proper news, which supposedly back up their case, these images could be doctored. They could be cut and pasted from, you know, anywhere on the internet. And indeed, there's a word called historiated, where in the days of yore, when the sort of first navigators of the oceans were going around trying to make maps of the coastlines they could see from their ships, but what they didn't do was go inland. So they would sort of fill out their maps. You know, the coastline was as accurate as they could draw, but inside they knew nothing, the interior of the countries. So they would fill these with weird and wonderful creatures and tribes and races of people. And also, you know, because they were so in awe of nature at sea, around the frame they would have these sort of, you know, winds being propitiously blown by gods and, you know, sort of Neptune and things like that. And the word historiated is to narrate a story through pictures. And in a way, that's what a lot of online storytelling is. It uses these fake images or doctored images to back up, to use as evidence, to back up their as I say, their stories, which are being used to counter science and fact and data. So sometimes story can be very dangerous. It can penetrate areas where perhaps it's best not to penetrate, but to you know, stick to facts and science and research.